Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to come down to your search window and you're going to look for let's look for publisher. Publisher. All right, so it looks like there we go. We're going to open that program, and that's step one. Okay, now we're going to go to new, right, as you would do. Go to new. We're going to go to blank. Just go to blank 8 point whatever. All right, it's going to give you a blank document, but we want it the size of our panel. Now you can make a size that is 12 inches by, we want to change the size of the paper. So we're going to go to page design up here on the ribbon. You're going to go to size, and we're going to create a new paper size. Now it's 12 inches across the top. This is for your panel 1. We'll call this panel 1. And then you can either make it 72 inches, which will be a 6-foot board, or you can make it 32 inches. Now I'm doing 72 inches because I want a full-size 6-foot board. Complete it like that. Now, even though this looks tiny, if I zoom in on it, I go all the way to the bottom, you can see that it's right at 72 inches. Okay, I'm going to start with putting in a text box because I want a text box that I can put a title in. So I'm going to add my text box, got my crosshairs. If you look to the left, I can match it up with that 1-inch size. I'm going to go down to 3 inches because I think I want about a 2-inch tall text box. And then I am going to call this Cotton Through History. And it's very tiny. I'm guessing, I'm gonna start big. I'll go to 48. Still too small. Let's go to 72. That looks pretty good. That's a pretty good size. I can try to manually make it a little large. Let's try 84. Let's try 84. Put that there. Oh, a little too big. So let's go back. We're gonna do 72. All right, you can also change, and I'm gonna center this. Yeah, so we want to center this text. So let's right click it. We're going to center that. All right. So now I have a nice title, and I notice that I don't like it. I want that capitalized. All right, Cotton Through History. There's my title. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my document, back to here. All right, so we're going to go back to my outline. I'm trying to go back to my outline. Come on, outline. All right, I got to put my historical context paragraph in there. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to minimize, and then time for another text box. I'm going to draw a pretty big text box. I'm just going to guess about that size. That's really too small. All right, for secondary text, I'm probably going to want this about 18 or 20. 20 is looking pretty good there. So I'm going to go with that size. And let's see how that looks. All right. So this is what your board would look like, right? That's a 72-inch piece, and that's how large that is, right? So good start. All right, I've spent a little time. I changed the font of Cotton Through History, and I want that capital T there. I've got my text box here, and I've added some of my primary sources here. I can make that larger so I can see what that's going to look like. I went and found some images of the cotton plant, and this is one of my primary sources here. You can see I have a caption that I put in. I've also had my source, City Museum, 1822 to 1827. Got my pictures of cotton here. I have a quote right here. Quotes are going to be very important. This is a quote from Columbus's diary. I have the citation information down at the bottom. I found a new image of some of the Arawak people that he encountered that are going to tie right into that text. I also made a small text box up here, and I put a title above this section, right? And so this is my next section. Next section is going to be my preceding events, and I call it planting a seed. I've entered my preceding events paragraph, and I noticed that that paragraph actually is not, this box is not big enough. Ooh, yeah, I need to add that. I've added this. Okay, so now I've got this image. When you add an image, you can move it anywhere on your board, right? You can use the arrows, you can just drag and drop, you can move it anywhere. And now I need to add in some textual information, and that's going to be the next step we're going to do. Okay, so we need to add a credit, because for every image that you have, you've got to have a credit. So you see we've got planting a seed. That's my new, this is for the bottom of the board. If you look at my measurements right to the left, I don't have a highlighted text, but we're right the bottom of this board. The top is the top half. Okay, we've got planting seed. There's my preceding events, and then my image. All right, you can look over here because this is almost what, 32 inches. Let's see, that's not right. Let's stop recording. All right, it looks like that my source is this is in the Encyclopedia of Virginia, but the Encyclopedia from Virginia, they actually got this from, the credit is from the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation, but the author is Thomas Ryan, and it's created in 1780. So really all I need to do is now go create a caption in Publisher. So we're going to go to Publisher. Oop, wrong doc. Let's go to the right document. We're going to go to Publisher. Going to make this bigger again. And there's my document. All right, so text box time. Throw a text box in there. And I'm going to put a little text box. Going to put a little text box. He said, again, stubbornly. And you're going to write, I'll say Colonial Williamsburg. And the year was 1780. Okay, 1780. Okay, that's all the citation I'm going to need. And I'm just going to put that over on the right there. Okay, and that is a credit. Now, if I wanted to, let's say I want to create a caption. I could say, tobacco was once the dominant crop, but soon would be replaced by cotton. All right, I'm going to go in there bigger so I can see this stuff. Tobacco was once the dominant, and let's call it the cash crop. That means they made lots of money off of it. But soon would be, make that bigger, replaced by cotton. C-O-T-T-O-N, period. And then we can put our, we don't want to put that. We're going to put, and then we can put our credit, and we can say Colonial Williamsburg, 1780. Okay, so we got a photo credit. Let's see if I'm spelling Williamsburg right. You got a photo credit, and we have actually a caption as well. So, and we can come zoom out on that a little bit. I don't like that way over there. I'm going to move that right here. I'm going to actually make my text, it's only 10 inches. I want it to be a little bigger. I want to make it 16. It's not quite as big as my headlines, but now it will be easily readable. I'm going to space it out nicely. Maybe move this over. Maybe I want the image bigger. Let's make that image bigger. Okay, move this down. And now I'm going to zoom out. All right, there you start to see what my panel is going to look like, right? And I can decide, even from this point, I can go in and say, ooh, you know, I really like that centered a little bit more. And I got a picture up there that I've added. I want that centered a little bit more, right? And this is my 72-inch board. You can see there's the top, there's my images. I'm kind of thinking, you know, I don't know if I like that offset. I think I may want to just go with, you know, it's centered. And I'm going to play with this. So anyway, you can do this for 1,000,000 hours. And this is how you'll start to design your boards. And yeah, so good luck with your project.